Hello, Shameless Squad. What up? I am shamelessly sexy Jackie here. I am so excited to do this Pluto retrograde video about your sex life, maybe even some scandals coming out, or even potential love coming to you in your relationships. So, in this video, we are going to go through all the shameless sexuality when it comes to astrology, and I'm so excited, y'all, to talk about this with you. So, if you are new, I need you to smash that subscribe button, boo. I know 5,200 of you are unique viewers, but you come back for more. So, just be a part of the shameless squad already, okay? So, thank you to all my returning subscribers, your likes, your donations, your comments, your tips, just everything. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to you. Can we get some emojis in the chat, boo? Because y'all are amazing, Shameless Squad. And right off the bat, if you don't know me, I am shamelessly sexy Jackie. So, what up? I am a psychic medium and I'm a certified sex therapist turned sexual confidence coach. And I use astrology as a tool to help people understand their sexuality, their pleasure, their intimacy, their turn-ons, their turn-offs, their kinks, all these different things, baby. And today we're going to be going through a general astrology whole sign houses for all 12 rising signs. You can check in this video your sun and your moon if you would like to as well. And let me know what resonates with you in the comments below. As always, help the channel grow. Make sure to smash the like button too if you got any value of this. It does help me grow and it's completely free to you. Shameless Squad. So, Pluto retrograde. Let's talk for a hot minute. I have a previous video, all 12 signs, already up on my channel. Go back, watch it, learn from it. There's more details in it that you're going to want to pay attention to of the general themes. No, I did not talk about sex, love, relationships, astrology, scandals, all those things. So, there's more information over there about what you can pay attention to in regards of this Pluto retrograde, boo. So I'm not going to get into that here. Let's talk about some things though when it comes to this. These energies are going to be playing out for the next 5 months. I'm recording this on Tuesday, May 6th, and this is going to be some general themes of the aspects in astrology of what you can really expect during this Pluto retrograde. And I love making astrology videos in regards of sex, intimacy, pleasure, love, relationships. And quite frankly, I think it's so fun when I've been able to work with people in coaching or just one-on-one readings with all you to be able to really just talk to you about this. So thank you for always trusting in me in regards of helping you with your sexuality, your astrology, intimacy, pleasure, just learning a little bit more about yourself for your shameless spiritual self-care or your sexual self-care. So what we're going to get into is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what aspects are going on here overall. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that theme for you in regards of what house Pluto is in and how that is going to influence and illuminate some things in regards of sex, intimacy, pleasure. I'm going to give you a horoscope with that. I'm also going to pull one card specifically out of my Shamelessly Sexy tarot deck for all of you and talk about the relational energies too. So prior to doing that, I was guided to pull out a tarot deck that I used yesterday under my live videos tab and just to find the death card and what it is around, okay, in this deck, which the death card in this deck, to just give you all a little bit of a different reading here, it is in the middle of the Fool card in the reverse, Death card, and the Knight of Swords in the reverse here. So, spiritually asking you to go within, ask yourself about any foolish decisions that you've made in relationships, your love life, your sexual pleasure, what needs to be cut off here because this is ruled by Scorpio energy, Pluto energy, and Knight of Swords. Any like sexual manipulation, lies, or things that were said to you that could have been really triggering or hurt, or things of that sort. I talked about previously in a video that therapy right now during Pluto retrograde is going to be really, really good for lots of people. And I've been saying that the astrology matches since January 2025. Like, this is the year if you're like on a healing adventure, go seek help for healing. Okay. So I did a live video. Do not spiritual bypass your healing adventure. I don't call it a journey because healing is never finished. We're always learning and growing and everything like that here. So go back and watch that live reading I psychically channeled. It's completely free to you. It's under my lives video tab too. So it's showing up again, just even in the cards here. And then they told me pull out the death card, but then also the star card for healing, which is Aquarius, which Pluto is in Aquarius. So let me just pull that up specifically. That's just what my guides were giving me. So to give you a little bit more with this, and you'll have to let me know if you like this or if this resonates with you at all, because I am doing something new. I'm F it and find out energy, And maybe some of you are feeling that way in relationships or sex, intimacy, love, romance, pleasure here. So we shall see. Wow, where the heck is the star card here? This is very deep that I'm going through this deck in y'all. No pun intended, but it's like so deep that I had to like go through all of these cards, and we're almost at the end of the deck here. So I feel like a lot of you maybe have some deep divey work, and you definitely do potentially when it comes to healing yourself, healing yourself. I'm healing myself, healing myself. Yeah. That song could be significant to you. I'm feeling myself, feeling myself. And we have next to the star card, we have Ten of Swords in the reverse, which we like that. The star card in the reverse, but then we have the devil card in the upright. I feel like some of you have been working on your healing, on relationships with sex, intimacy, romance, pleasure, even the relationship with yourself and your shamelessly sexy sexual self-care. And I really feel like some of you do just need to detach from maybe toxic people, energies in your life, exes, F buddies, friends with benefits, because I feel like they took advantage of you for some of you, and you need to close up a major cycle with this overall. So again, don't bypass your spiritual wellness during this time. One other card that my guides were telling me to just pull up, and it was so funny, not funny. I'm like doing my makeup, putting the whole caboodle on my face, like Chris Sapphire would say from The Circle. If you know, you know. If you don't, that's cool. And I'm putting like my mascara on. I have a point, and like I blinked, and if anybody wears mascara here, let me know in the chat if you've ever done this before in the comments. But like you blink and then you're like, oh my God. And then it like got under my eye here. So I was just like, really, really today, like Pluto retrograde, and retrogrades, for those of you that don't know, it's to slow the F down. So clearly that was like my sign, my reminder, like, ow, Jackie, chill the F out, slow the F down. And my guides were literally telling me about this card in this deck. This is my Shameless Truth Oracle deck here. Rest, recharge, renew, reflect, release, rejuvenate, retreat. So maybe asking yourself with your sexual energies, your relationships, your love life, if you're dating, just things intimately with partner, spouse here. What is it that you need to let go of? How can you maybe renew some certain things with vows or intimacy or whatever, pleasure or sex, whatever it is for you? And how can maybe, if you are in relationships, or poly, like how can you rejuvenate those or even recharge, or if you have a partnership, recharge yourself like with that partner and maybe rest a little bit, or if it's just you and your single boo, like how can you do some of that work or be with some of that work too when it comes to some of that as well. Okay. So Shameless Squad, let's talk about this specifically. I'm going to share my screen, I'm going to pull up the chart, I'm going to tell you, let me first tell you though about the aspects. I wrote them down. So we have Pluto making a sextile to Venus, and it's opposing Mars. And we have Mars trining Venus. But the asteroids is what I'm pulling into this reading for today for all of you, which is a little bit different about how I'm doing this reading. So you'll have to let me know how you like it, what you feel about it, what you think here overall. So the asteroids are not directly hitting Pluto, but they are influencing Mars, which could influence sexual libido, intimacy, pleasure during this Pluto retrograde here. So I do feel the need to talk about it. Mars is trine Venus, which we love that. But then we have Mars trine Salacia. And for those those of you that don't know who Salacia is basically this sexual asteroid here about desire and passion and the erotic psyche. And it's covered up. Think of like scandaled. So maybe appeared to be salacious or painted as like extreme eroticism, forbidden, illicit sexual activity, because maybe because Salacia, the myth is like didn't want to be married here, and she wanted to keep her virginity, not be married, and people pined over her, y'all. And Neptune actually wanted to like marry her and like sent dolphins to search for her. And so then she did, but some myths say that she was really salacious or scandalous, but she just really wanted to preserve her sexuality. So don't be surprised within the next 5 months with Pluto retrograde in the sign of Aquarius if certain types of like sexual scandals come out, secrets come out, in regards of that. That is Salacia. So Mars also opposes Urania, and let me tell you about Urania a little bit. So Urania is seduction through mysticism and astrology. So Urania really used astronomy and astrology, representing like the mystical and cosmic nature of love and attraction here. So this is like using those things to attract or seduce others here through a spiritual connection. So for those of you that are like in spiritual communities or have a lot of spiritual connections here, I would not be surprised if someone's trying to like seduce you or kind of use those environments and those spaces and places, but they may have this other worldly like allure to them. And then we have Urania sextiling Salacia. So this is like a nice flow of energy, but it does kind of force you to move forward or make some sort of decision if you want to. Then we have Cupido. So for those of you that don't know Cupido, this is all about like Cupid kind of vibe and energy, if you thought of that. And it's like how you make people fall in love with you. And it's the god of love and affection, and often depicted as the one who can make people like hearts fall. It can really be found in polyamorous or like group sex dynamics here as well, like easily swaying hearts and matchmaking abilities. So it's really interesting just looking at some of these with Cupido squaring Salacia. It does have a little bit of an influence there. It's a medium influence, and that could be like some sort of maybe sexual scandal here, group dynamics here, a third party situation here. So I would just be very careful about some of those things. You could be seeing that come up for you personally too. We'll see what we shuffle out when it comes to each rising sign based on the tarot here. And if those like third party situations, the threes come out, we will figure it out one step at a time here, y'all. Okay. I'm just checking that my neighbor didn't like come across our lawn or something like that, because we have just cameras and stuff for packages and whatever. And I just always want to make sure they're great neighbors, but you never know if someone needs something. So anyway, Shameless Squad, how do you look for your astrology fortune here? Rising sign is how you come off into the world towards other people, your persona, everything like that, how you navigate things. It's going to be most accurate based on your rising sign or the ascendant in your birth chart. Your sun is kind of like more so your identity, your ego, your money, your finances, career, and the moon is really how you feel about certain things here overall. So if you want to be able to check all of them, I invite you to do so. This one could be better to look at your moon sign though. I'm not gonna lie, like it could be helpful to watch your sun specifically. If anything does change with like sexual identity, pieces of that sort, whatever. So we'll just kind of look at the chart and see. Okay, so let me pull it up and share my screen with you, my loves. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so this is the chart of Pluto retrograde. And like I said, I am recording this on May 6th here. So we're going to go through all of this info here, okay? I want to be able to write on this. What color do we want to use today? A hot pink. For some love, sex, pleasure, all the things, okay? So we are going to start with you, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs here. So when it comes to these aspects, you have Pluto in your 11th house here of hopes, dreams, wishes. And the theme for you is obsession and sexual uniqueness here, especially with Aquarius, okay? Your sexuality and Aquarius ruling the 11th house. So is unconventional and tied to your social circles during this time. Friends, people in the community. This is also dreams, wishes, allies, okay? You may become obsessed with being sexually unique or even wanting to push some sort of boundary here, especially in Aquarius. This is like times two energy because this is Aquarius's house. We got Aquarius up in here as well. Friendships may develop within transformative sexual relationships, but power struggles could arise if boundaries aren't clearly communicated. So beware of projecting your sexuality and relationship ideas onto others is the warning when you have Pluto in your 11th house here, okay? Pluto is making a sextile to Venus here in the first house of self. So it's definitely going to be important to be able to explore sexual connections. There could be someone out in the community who's helping you explore your own identity when it comes to sex yourself, your body, gender identity here overall too, whom it is you do love, right? Thinking about these things and taking action towards that here overall. This could also be new people like coming towards you, you coming towards them, the community here specifically. With Pluto opposing Mars in your fifth house here, this is like a date that goes wrong. Fifth house is like, and with Mars being, you know, sexual libido and Leo ruling the fifth house specifically, overall, this is like creativity, this is entrepreneurship, this is like romance, children. So just be careful of any pregnancy scares here. Be careful of any dating someone that you know from in the workplace or creative business endeavors if you're a solopreneur. Just there's a warning about that for a lot of you who are dating within friend circles or communities right now. I would not recommend. Then let's talk about Mars. So when you look at the asteroids here, this is Salacia, the little seashell. That's the S. Then you have Urania, which is the A here. So U, A, whatever, but like this. Woo, okay. And then you have Cupido, which is the C. So when we look at Mars making a trine to Salacia, this is like a brand new, could this be some sort of like, sexual connection that you meet through I mean, honestly, like creative entrepreneurship. Are you doing art stuff out in the community? Are you going to a paint class? Are you connecting with people? This is like the fun house here overall. So, are you meeting someone, out and about here, even at like potentially a creative networking event or some sort of like creatives event here? Okay. This could be like a hookup one night stand here. This could also be like, yeah, that kind of energy because this is romance. You could also be dating someone new here overall. So you got some options. I really like this energy. You do have Mars opposite Urania here in the 11th. And Urania, this is again something like the biggest warning for you with Urania is like these group dynamics. Apologize. I don't know if you can see this other part of my screen. We have it as, if you can, we have it as this, but if not, that's okay. But with Urania, the warning for you is specifically, you are going to, this is like spiritual communities here. So it's kind of like when you hear about those people who use spirituality to like hook up with people or to seem so spiritual, it's like, it's not going to work out. So you're kind of being warned about that specifically here overall. So we don't like that for you. Watch out for that. We do have Urania making a sextile to Salacia. So this is really good fun. Dating, maybe romance, friendships, connections here. There could be some sort of like playful event gathering that you might be exploring too. But then we also have Cupido squaring over here in your first house in the fourth house, Salacia here. So, is there like a motherly figure in your life that's like, I don't think that's a good connection for you? Or, oh my gosh, did you have sex with somebody in the home? And it's some sort of like sex scandal here, right? Like, did you have sex with like your sister's boyfriend or someone family of origin here? Okay. I'm just like getting that kind of vibe and energy here. There is a square. And with Cupido, this is kind of, the I can make you fall kind of energy and love. Um, with Cupido, this is also like group dynamics and polyamory here. And so this might be kind of breaking off maybe some sort of relationship with that too, specifically for you, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. I believe that's all I got for you. Let me know what resonates in the comments below. You had one card shoot out here. Oh my gosh, you got the star card. You probably can't see it in the reverse, but this is legit. Scandals coming to light here. And if you work in the public eye or you're well known, I would be very careful. This could be some sort of like sex tape exposed or shared without your consent, pictures, receiving guidance from sexual partners, or this is like a sexual connection that is not destined for you. So, Aries, let me know how you like this video and make sure to drop me a comment in the hearts below. It's completely free to you. It takes less than 30 seconds, boo, and make sure to hit the subscribe button too. Alrighty, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign here. Let's talk about you, Taurus. So you got Pluto over here hanging out in the 10th house of career, public image, reputation, things you work for. Let's talk about like the sexual theme when Pluto is in the 10th house here, okay? This is authoritative control. So your sexuality is linked maybe to your status or your career or your reputation during this time. You might feel pressure to control your public persona here and or leading to repression or secrecy around your desires overall, especially if you're well known. Your power in the world may be rooted in your confidence and intimacy, so be mindful of authority figures influencing your sexual choices or being controlling here, okay? You could be controlling here too with this playing out in this 10th house of career here as well. A lot of you, when it comes to Pluto, let's talk about the good first, okay? Sextiling Venus over here with your sex life. This could be like a far off distant shore, land connection, maybe that you meet from going on a business trip and it's kind of hidden and you didn't realize it, right? This could also be meeting someone potentially like online, maybe dating here, but they live somewhere else. This could also be like a secret hidden affair here when it comes to your career, here, maybe dating someone at work here overall, hooking up with them, falling in love with them, especially with Salacia, in the 12th house here. And that is hidden, also making that connection here, specifically when it comes to this Mars trine specifically, okay, with sexual libido, or right here, my apologies. So there's something about that for you. We also do have Pluto, making this opposition from your 10th to your 4th house here. So this could be like a family member trying to get you to not date somebody at work, not date somebody maybe even in the public eye, not go for those connections because they just see it as maybe it's not going to actually work out for you here. So this could be like a motherly figure, family origin figure. They might be trying to share with you like what they done, how it worked. And you might also be cutting off or maybe even moving out from like a home setting, because this is also the home settings, partners, relationships, whatever, or if have a partnership, sexual connection here overall. With Mars trining Venus, we really love that. This is like a lot of beautiful, it's like hidden 12th house energy, and you might be like afraid to actually tell family members, friends, family members or loved ones, motherly figure here about maybe a new sexual connection, Tauruses. For some of you that are in relationships, this could be renewing of some sort of like, let's go on dates or let's have more dates at home here, or surprises at home here, specifically with love, intimacy, pleasure, and then sex overall. Maybe you're staying at home, lots of sex from the house front here, okay? And then we also got Mars trine Salacia here. So this is really secretive or hidden, a lover, a partner here, maybe a spouse or partners if you've got multiple. Could be kind of surprising you with some of these different types of things here, with this being very hidden overall. And it's like, wow, they remembered this. Wow, they took action on this. Wow, they moved forward this. And maybe they tried this new thing in our relationship with sex, intimacy, pleasure, just really moving forward here overall. Salacia is the one where it's like she's the one where it's like there could be some sexual interest or maybe even fears here, but I see you really working through any sexual fears, Taurus, with a partner or a spouse here with all this triny, beautiful, flowy energy. We do have Mars opposite Urania here again in the 10th house story. This is like cutting off any maybe types of maybe of two sexual connections and someone finds out about it, because Pluto's secrets, histories, mysteries, everything like that, sex here. And maybe you're dating like two people at work and they both find out that you hooked up with them. Maybe they live together, or vice versa here. Maybe you live alone, but it's like people talk at work here specifically. So you may be cutting off multiple sexual connections. They might be breaking up with you if you have more than two. And they might also be like chatting about it over technology here specifically when it comes to Urania. That is like a lot of people could just be very seductive. You seducing people at work, them seducing you, but then like it doesn't actually work out here. And then with Cupido over here, we have that making a square to Salacia overall here, harsh aspect. So before that, excuse me, you do have Urania also making a sextile to Salacia. So flowy energy, it's like a better opportunity will present itself later, but it is hidden at this time here. So I would say hold out for something or someone better here. And then with Cupido making this square to Salacia here, this is like, did an aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, cousin, set you up with someone out in the community thinking, oh my God, you have to meet this person. They're the greatest person ever. And you're like, and no, they actually slept with this person from work and that person from work and this person from work. And they actually live with this person that I know, right? Like it's kind of giving me small world energy here. So right now I would just say is probably not the best time to be dating. I would not be surprised if there is some sort of like celebrity sex scandal that comes out with this, maybe at a lower level here, specifically with the third house. Third house is also like a sex getaway, maybe travel that didn't actually go well or work out. out as best as you hoped it would too. So just pay attention to some of those themes, especially if they're long distance travel here. For some of you, this could be a long distance relationship or a short distance that turned into long distance. Flip those energies in reverse that you thought this could work out, but it's really given me the no, we got to cut it off vibes. Ooh, you got the Seven of Swords. Someone could be, yeah, sneaky link, sex behind your back, trying to have sex with someone else. There's hurtful, harmful secrets they won't say. Someone could be getting exposed. Like I said here, there's some secrets, scandals, mysteries that is coming out. For you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, I apologize. I am just the bearer of good and bad news here, so I'm just the messenger. Please don't shoot the messenger. Make sure to let me know what resonates in the comments below. And make sure to like this video. It's completely free to you. And this one I am putting my heart and soul into quite a bit, y'all. Shameless squad. So I would appreciate that so much. Alrighty, Gemini rising. Let's talk about you, boo. You got Pluto hanging out in your ninth house here, long distance travel, higher learning, education, values, philosophies. This is also gurus, guides, therapists, coaches, mentors, healers. Also a learning house education. So when you have Pluto in your ninth house, the thing that you may not be recognizing or seeing is your beliefs is controlling sexual beliefs here. Okay. And that's definitely fair with this air sign energy. It's like a double confirmation. Your beliefs about sex may be intense, possibly veering into a dogma or secrecy. Learning to be open about different perspectives will be key here. Okay. Traveling, spiritual retreats, studying sexology could be paths of deeper understanding or learning, or you might be hiring a guide, a guru, a coach, a consultant for that, a therapist for that. Let go of rigid beliefs about pleasure, and this will set you free. We like that, okay? Beware of projecting your sexual beliefs onto others here at this time, okay? That's your theme when Pluto is in your ninth house here specifically. Pluto is making a sextile to Venus here, which is through your friends, communities, allies, benefactors. This is dreams and hopes and wishes come true. So there could be some sort of hidden secret mystery. You might meet somebody out in the community or through higher education, learning, even a spiritual retreat here, or even something around love or money with the Venus, the planet of that too. And maybe even working on oneself here specifically. This is like a really good connection here. I like that. With Pluto making an opposition to your third house of you, Gemini, and Mars, I really see you cutting off maybe some sort of sexual hookup or someone that you dated out in the community here, and being like, yeah, no more. It's kind of awkward, or you might be like cutting them off, but then maybe also like cutting off going to that gym, going to that restaurant, going to that area that they go to, whatever, right? It's like you're taking action elsewhere and you're like, bye. This could also be someone specifically that you met through a spiritual community with Urania there, the astrology, the astronomy, someone trying to seduce you, you trying to seduce them, with this being a very spiritual house as well here. And that might be the secret mystery. And it's like, ooh, it didn't work out so well. We don't like that. It's opposing these energies. So be careful of that. If you're trying to do that, people might see through that specifically here overall. With Mars making a trine to Salacia in your 11th house here, this might be a really beautiful sexual connection. This may also be some sort of like sex scandal in the community, even that you hear of as well. Specifically, this is also a lot of like lust here, a lot of intimacy and pleasure. It is a nice flowy energy here specifically. And then we have Urania over here hanging out, making that beautiful sextile to Salacia. So you have some energies here to be able to use or lose here, right? So it's kind of like surprise, like we have so much in common. Surprise, like we're talking about, our sex, our intimacy, our pleasure here. Like this person's really good at speaking. They're very attractive and like maybe even seduces me here. So I would not be surprised when I stand here overall that you meet through like a spiritual community, a group of friends, network, whatever that might be here for you. So yeah, see what happens with that. Let me know, Flo. This is also like a house of lots of people here specifically. When it comes to that spiritual connection. It's going to feel very otherworldly here that you might meet overall. And with Cupido, being this person who is often inclined towards group situations, polyamory, and it being in Cancer, it's really kind of like, you might be cutting off that kind of energy, especially with this going through your 11th house of like friends, allies, here, communities here. This could be something where you want to maybe have more one-on-one emotional intimacy, sex pleasure with somebody, and this could be like, again, some sort of like aha epiphany moment of like, I don't want to do this anymore, or someone slept with your friend, or polyamory, like maybe gone wrong here in the second house, and you're like, wow, I'm really meant to be more monogamous because maybe my self-esteem, this is the house of self-esteem here as well. Is not that high and I can't do this anymore. I just can't balance multiple partnerships over here with Venus, but also Salacia here. Pleasure, love, money, self-esteem, and then we also have, beauty, scandal. Well, this is beauty, but we have scandal, we have sex, we have love, and we have like maybe someone just won't have sex with you or you won't have sex with them. And this is like rejection energy. Okay. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, let me know what resonates with you here. Okay, the card you got was the Sun. We love that energy in the upright. So you could have a lot of happiness sexually ahead or a partner that puts you first. Spirit's asking you what's going to actually sexually satisfy you, relationally satisfy you, and like claiming your sexual identity here. With this opposition, like maybe you are polyamorous and that's kind of just been the struggle, and you're like, oh, I can love more than one person here with Cupido being love. That's my heart. Okay. That could be a narrative or storyline for you too. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, let me know what resonates with you. And make sure to drop me a comment down below. It's completely free to you, help the channel grow, and make sure to smash subscribe. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What's up, Cancer babies? I love all of you. I'm a Cancer Sun here, okay? Let's talk about Pluto in the eighth house here. So Pluto is the ace house here. So you're really going to be feeling this one a lot. When it comes to sexuality, the theme for you is sex, intimacy, pleasure, romance, relationships is sexually destructive power. Okay. So sex can be life-changing. Excuse me, maybe exploring or drawn to tantric sex, BDSM, kinky sex, more sacred sexuality, slowing down. You may struggle with jealousy or a lot of sexual obsessions with this specifically going in your house. And you could also be attracting some karmic partners during this time, or even like calling, if there are karmic partners, out on these different types of things here and kind of seeing through some things. Partners could be sexually exploitive to you, or you could be sexually exploitive to them. So if you have a partner, partners, or spouse here, pay attention to how you're very much so like treating them in love, intimacy, romance, and pleasure. Be nice, Cancers, okay? Work on your shadows, especially during this time here overall, and become your healthiest sexual version of yourself here. That theme definitely feels apparent for you with Urania and Pluto hanging out in your eighth house here overall. With Pluto specifically and Urania both opposite Mars here, this could be some jealousy tensions if you have multiple sexual partners. And because with Mars being sexual libido, this could be like a tug of war back and forth between sex and love here. Second house is love, with it being originally Taurus's house, Venus here. And with Mars hanging out here, there could be some power struggles with that specifically. Some of you may be exploring BDSM and kinky sex specifically here with Pluto, and you may have like, I want to be the dom and the sub here, and maybe this one person doesn't want you to like play with other people, and you're like, oh, this is frustrating here. With Urania specifically, this is all about your mystic connections here. So you might be connecting people on occult wisdom, astrology, Reiki, tarot, psychic, dreams, just spirituality, enlightenment, just a lot of eighth house secrets. And this could also be like someone, if you are in like a soul partnership or relationship, this could be someone like hitting on you in front of a partner, or a partner finds out about it. And they could just even be mad or like jealous of that, being like, yeah, no, cut that person off. Don't be friends with them anymore. I don't like this. They could be controlling you. They could be controlling others here, especially with sexual passes here specifically. Overall, they could even like maybe physically like touch you in some sort of way and like cross a boundary is what I'm seeing. And it's something that doesn't work out at the end of the day with these opposition energies here. With Pluto making a sextile to the 10th house to Venus here, and Salacia hanging out. Is this some sort of sex scandal at work here? It is a sextile. It's a harmonious flow. For those singles, are you meeting a lover at work here and not telling anybody about it because there's some sort of like HR policy, right? Is that the sex scandal? Does a sex scandal get exposed through your work and you're just, watching it, right? Is this something about, a connection that has similar common interests of the eighth house and maybe 10th house of careers. And it's just a nice connection here for you to have overall. With this specifically, with Mars trining Salacia and trining Venus from your second, so you have like money from this house and money from this house, other people's money, your money, and your 10th house of career. So, do you work in some sort of sexual industry? Are you a sexual wellness coach? Are you a consultant? Are you a therapist? Are you a guide? Are you a healer? Do you host, sacred sexuality retreats or things for sexual self-esteem here and you make money, right? For others of you, this is just like multiple people potentially come in for you, Cancers, from the career aspect and telling you how beautiful you are, how love you are, how sexy you are. And, this is just one of those storylines that I'm really seeing. Don't be surprised if people are trying to like pay you for if with this aspect here, okay, with all of this going on and this going on with Pluto and this going on, which is cool if you work as if you know what I'm talking about in that industry here. You may be getting lots of clients from that. And if you don't know, then you don't need to know. Okay. So pay attention to that specifically here. With Cupido making a square to Salacia, there is some sort of story here about whether or not you, Cancer, really want to move forward with some sort of love connection. There could be some sort of sex scandal that's exposed in your career here. This could be some sort of tension or even fight over like what your career matter is if you work in the sexual wellness industry and maybe a lover does not like that or how you're being treated here overall. This could also be people trying to make you fall in love with them through a career and you're just like, yeah, no. And you just know that for yourself. So just let me know what resonates, Cancer, for you. Just pay attention to that too with these energies. Most important message for my Cancer baby is, ooh, you got two that came out. Okay, literally, this is like what I said here overall. So I love it. You have six of desires in the reverse. So this is something where that says a sex scandal that could be revealed in the public eye. Someone could be mad that you're looking sexy in the public eye. Careful of any sexual harassment at work or consent is broken, or someone thinking that you work as a certain type of worker here because you have Six of Wands in the reverse and Ten of Pentacles in the upright. So we love that. This is like you want a romantic sexual connection partnership that lasts for the long haul. And a lot of you are just really in a big, secure sexual relationship, probably for 10 plus years here, at least with the 10 of pleasures. And this is like, you can't really see it, but it's kind of like a fireplace, kind of homey setting here, presents, whatever. So, like I said, a lot of, you could be having a lot of beautiful just intimacy and enjoying long-term commitment here, happiness. There is some sort of lasting relationship that can come off of this based off of the tarot that really is unified here. So I love that for you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Let me know what resonates with you in the comments below. Completely free to you, and it helps me grow and support the channel too. Takes less than 30 seconds. Turn the subscribe button on too and smash the bell, boo. Okay. Cancer, nice. Leos, Sun, Moon, Rising. Let's talk about you, Leos. You are hanging out over here in the seventh house. So let's discuss what sexual energy this is that you may not be seeing because Pluto is secretive. So this could be manipulative sexual intimacy. You could attract partners here who are intense, mysterious, or deeply sexual during this time. There could be some power struggles, control issues here when Pluto's hanging out in the seventh year. And this could really surface with intimate partners, marriages, long-term committed partnerships here as well. These experiences here are catalysts for growth. So sexual confidence is balancing power through mutual surrender. Exploring themes of dominance, hidden power dynamics, and manipulation could really be healing here. I definitely see that, especially if there's anyone who's trying to manipulate your energies, trying to be some sort of like endowed spiritual guide, and they can just completely like cure everything around that, right? Especially when it comes to this opposing you in the first house of like sexual energies, libido here specifically with the seventh. So just be careful about that and whom you might have contracts with or committed relationships with in regards of maybe even helping anything here when it comes to that, especially in marriages or long-term relationships here overall. For some of you, I really see this is the energy of you, Leo. I'm seeing this as a sexual dry spell here. You're maybe feeling disconnected from a partners, or spouse here overall. Spiritually, may not be on the right page. You might have different values during this time. Your sexual libido could be maybe just you might be struggling with that a little bit here. And this is something where you could be getting into some fights with these oppositions, some frustrations with sex. Sex could just be really lower at this time here overall. Pluto making a sextile to Venus in the ninth house here. It's a nice flowy energy here. So, some of you, this is like signing a contract to go to university and you are meeting someone maybe that you love, maybe you hook up with them sexually, maybe there's a romance that's budding here specifically. For others of you, like if this is a professor with salacia hanging out here, this could be like a scandal with a professor here specifically, especially with this squaring Cupido, like it's not gonna work. Like, I don't know. And this is hidden over here, 12th house. Is this some sort of sexual connection with a mentor, guide, guru? Are you attracted to a therapist, a coach, a spiritual healer here? Do you think, different types of fantasy thoughts like, oh my God, this could totally work, and it's Delulu with Cupido hanging out over here? It's like, yeah, no, they could reject you, you could reject them. Some of you, this could be like falling in like love with the person or some sort of sexual scandal at university. Maybe you hear about this, maybe this happens in your life, with maybe even people of the 12th house of guides, with this being guides, mentors, gurus, therapists, people who help others here in the 12th being the subconscious, the psyche, the hidden spirituality. Like, I would not be surprised if you're seeing this a lot overall, or even institutions with this, and even like spiritual communities with this. Careful of that. So you have this flow here, specifically between Venus and Pluto, which we talked about overall. Let's talk about the Mars trines, though. So we have Mars trining Salacia, and we have Mars trining Venus here. So one of the things is like you could have a really great maybe date night with a spiritual connection, or a long distance trip, or taking action to book a long distance trip here, a sex getaway here for romance. Are you going to someplace nice and warm and hot, across the pond here or wherever? Are you with Mars here moving forward with some sort of like sex getaway with a lover or lovers, just because you got two things hanging out up in here? Is this some sort of sexual gathering, couples retreat here overall? A sex getaway is what I mean, more so with a lover or a partner here, right? Are you taking a vacation in the next 5 months with this? So think a little bit about that here specifically, with Urania and Salacia making a sextile here. Flow of energy, is this something where this is like a group sex? Because this is people, this is others, this is relationships, maybe long distance here that you try and you test out here, right? And it goes well. Is there some sort of threesome that happens here, or some sort of group polydynamic relationship overall with maybe people from long distance places, cultures, things of that sort here, okay? Um, that could be fun energy, Leo, for you. So let me know what resonates in the comments below. Let's get one card for you, Leos. Okay, what do they need to know? Shut up. You got the King of Desires, Leo. If you can't see, there's an airplane, there's a heart, there's a compass, there's a map, and it's in the upright. You looking sexy. Ooh, Six of Swords in the upright. You're going for it. Taking the lead with sex, moving fast, implementing a plan, sexually confident. And some of you could be having sex with someone older than you. So cool, 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 Leos. Let me know what resonates in the comments below. Definitely drop me a heart if anything. Takes less than 30 seconds. Make sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe, turn the notification bell on. I would love to have you be a part of my Shameless Squad, boo. Virgos, what's up, loves? Virgos. So we got Pluto hanging out. Sixth house of you, boo. Okay. Let's talk about your themes. Virgos, you are very familiar with this house here. So, your theme is controlling pleasure. Your sexuality is connected to your routine and personal healing. You're drawn to partners who challenge you to change your approach to intimacy here. Very interesting, especially with Urania right next to it. You might have some work-related stress maybe, or perfectionism may suppress sexual energy at this time here. Cultivate self-care rituals for both body and mind. Be mindful of power struggles in workplace relationships or the tendency to overanalyze your sexual experiences, because this is also the house of services given, coworkers, colleagues. This is pets. This is also routines. Third house can also be routines, but this is like more so physical wellness routines here. Okay, so let's talk about Pluto up in here, right? So you have Pluto making a sextile to Venus in the eighth house here, right? With sixth house energy, is this some sort of like sexual mystery, some sort of kink, some sort of turn on, some sort of fetish, maybe pet play here that with sixth house being pets, that you had no idea that you might actually like, but you kind of go for it. You try it here. Is this you being a dom or a sub or whatever? Is this, more so like sacred sensuality, slowing down, maybe doing some slow sex, things of that sort here, specifically with Venus in the eighth house? Are you learning about sex, intimacy, pleasure here specifically? With this being coworkers or colleague, tell you about like some sort of sexual wellness book or mysteries or things that talks about this more, with this being like, I didn't know that about sex, right? So you might be finding some things out about your sexuality, what you love, your pleasure, your sensuality, your intimacy here with this in Pluto in the sixth house here, specifically overall. Now, let's talk about this with Pluto and Urania. Urania is the one that basically likes to talk about astrology, astronomy to seduce people here overall in the sixth house. Are you getting seduced by like a coworker? And are you kind of like, wait, what? Right? And then does it turn into some sort of love affair, a sex affair, whatever here, right? But with these two up in here opposing Leo in the 12th house here, is this some sort of hidden, you know, karmic relationship? 12th house is karmic relationships. 6th house is karmic debts you owe to other people here. Is someone using sex as a weapon in your life here when it comes to maybe a sexual routine and mental health and, a person in your life? Do they manipulate you and say, oh, I need sex. I need sex. If you only knew. And it's like, no, it's not a need. Like, we don't die if we don't have sex. I always joke with like my clients. I'm like, we aren't going to die if we don't have sex, like, be it if you don't have sex in the next 24 hours, or if I don't have sex with my partner or myself like next 24 hours, right? Like, no one's gonna die here, right? So pay attention to any sexual manipulation, especially in the 12th house. And this is mental health here overall. Delulu, maybe lies, people using sex as a weapon here specifically. I don't like that energy. And honestly, I think you're gonna block it, and maybe someone else in your life, or maybe this is you if you're doing it, Virgo, with controlling some sort of pleasure here. You need to maybe work out some struggles with that, or this other person needs to work out some struggles with that specifically here overall. So just pay attention to any hot-headedness or any passive aggressiveness. When there's a fire sign energy or Mars in the 12th house, like that circle, In the 12th house, I always say this is passive aggressive energy here. So it's kind of like, oh, wait, what did you just say to me? And then you think about it with this air sign energy. And then you go back to this person and then you call them like out on it, not in a shameful way, in a shameless, healthy way. And then they get maybe defensive or aggressive. So just careful with that here overall. There might be some sort of mental health conversations that you might need to be having and how that's influencing your sexual libido or a partner's libido, or if you spiritually are on the same page and mentally like on the same page when it comes to your sex routines here, as well as anything that any mysteries or things you want to try or things that you don't like here overall. Okay. Let's talk about Mars trine Venus and Mars trine Salacia in the eighth. So you got the 12th to 8th here. So is there some sort of, again, hidden secret mystery coming to light here? Two of them when it comes to your sexuality. Are you working on sexual wellness, mental health therapy, doing some of this work here, learning and being able to connect with partners, or spouse here on these different types of hidden maybe mysteries with sex, intimacy, and pleasure here? Are you gonna connect with somebody from a long distance place here for singles out here, right? Is this, wow, this very person like had no idea, like long distance travel here. And maybe this is like a karmic past life, because 12th house is also past life, sexual connection coming to light that could turn into lots of love here. And with Salacia, this is literally like the story. Like, is someone vying for your attention, your love here, sexuality, intimacy, pleasure? And are they coming towards you, Virgo? I think so. With Salacia wanting to be keep her virginity and be unmarried here, right? Is this someone saying like, oh no, 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 I want to take you out, I want to go on a date with you, I'm coming for you, but you don't even see it with this house being hidden. So pay attention to that. Let me know what love stories bud for you. I'm here for it, boo. I really like it. With Urania making a sextile to Salacia here. This could also, again, just be a lot of shocks and surprises about maybe being on a spiritual level with someone that kind of like gets you and your sexuality here, sacred sexuality, tantric sex, different types of things here overall. Then with Salacia, making a square to Cupido right here from the 11th to the 8th. Is this something where, oh my gosh, like I was friends with this person first here, so we could like really fall in love with each other or sex or whatever, with, you know, Venus hanging out here next to Salacia. And it's just kind of like, it doesn't work here. Okay. There's some sort of fight that could come up with like asexual hookup or friends with benefits is really what I see here. And I see you either needing to, with the square, work it out, cut it off here. You know, you might have love for this person, but you're not in love with this person, or vice versa. That's what they might tell you here. Okay. So Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, that's what I got for you. Let's shuffle out a card for you, boo. What's going on? Ooh, the Empress. Cute. Libra energy. Some of you could be getting pregnant. Congratulations. Very interesting. You may be pregnant. There's nothing going on in the fifth house here of children or anything like that. So, okay. Creating new sex routines. We love that for you. Having more pleasure, love, sex, and intimacy and satisfaction. The Empress energy. So you could have a Taurus or a Libra in your life. Tubu. Virgos. Let me know what resonates with you down in the comments below. Help the channel grow. Even if you just drop me an emoji or anything like that, I would appreciate it. An appropriate one. Okay. It takes less than 30 seconds for you, and it does help me with the algorithm too. So I would appreciate that, as I'm pouring my heart into this new style of reading here. And if you found any value in it, like definitely give me a thumbs up, hit the like button, and hit that notification bell, and turn the notifications on. Okay. Can't wait for you to be a part of my Shameless squad here. Let's talk about you, Libras, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I am so good with my circles, y'all. Circle, circle, dot, dot. Uh-huh. I got my cootie shot. Uh-huh. Think that girl is hot. Uh-huh. I think I'd rather not. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, okay, okay. Anyway, okay. Y'all remember that song? I'm done singing to you. But let's talk about you, Libras. You're probably like, get on with it, Jackie. Wow. Okay, so we're talking about a fifth house story for you. Yeah, you actually might have some people thinking that you're really hot here. Libras, I'm not gonna lie, because this is the house of romance, hookups, pregnancy, all these different things here, okay? Let's discuss. Oh, with Pluto in your fifth house, interesting. You got somebody who's romantically, potentially obsessed with you, is the overall energy. So this talks about your sexual energy at this time is intense, dramatic, and deeply tied to self-expression, maybe even creativity here. Love affairs are transformative and maybe even karmic overall, teaching you lessons about certain things about power, control, or even surrender here. There's a strong desire for passionate romance. Oh my God. Yeah, there is. You got two here. What up? But this can also lead to obsessive tendencies or struggles with possessiveness. So Libras, Sun, Moon, Rising, with that possessive kind of energy, I definitely see that coming up here. We're going to talk about the Mars opposing Urania and Pluto story for you right off the bat here. This could be two people, maybe potentially. You got two people here, or maybe just one person who is maybe upset and mad from like a friendship circle, things of that sort. Like they dream or wish they could have sex with you here, vice versa. Flipped energies in reverse, and you might reject them and be like, no, I'm good with, the two I got over here. But you have some options when it comes to dating and romance here. With Urania, this could serve as a karmic lesson or connection of like with Pluto. Um, Specifically maybe trying to, with opposition and then Mars opposing Pluto and Urania opposing Mars, like someone maybe says all the right things, they're very charming, charismatic, and maybe take advantage of you sexually or relationally, and like, okay, like you want a spiritual astrological connection, I'm going to tell you everything like you want to hear. So just make sure you're mindful of seeing through that agenda here, because then you might hook up with them, right, sexually, and then you might be like, oh my God, this person is not who I thought they were. Like they used me for this, and there could be some sort of mystery that comes out with it, okay? Some of you might just not like some people, and you might not be going on some dates with them overall. It's why there's these oppositions here. Then let's talk about, we have Pluto making a sextile to Venus over here from your fifth to your seventh. So this could be some sort of like really beautiful, intimate, intellectual intimacy, creative intimacy here with all the air sign energy that is connecting with this fiery, passionate Aries romance energy. It's about taking action, moving forward. This could be like dates that turn into marriage. First comes love, then comes first comes love, and then comes a marriage, then comes the baby in the baby carriage, okay? Children here as well. So I'd be mindful of that. Some of you could be having some struggles with getting pregnant here and maybe feeling frustrated with it. Be mindful of that, because fifth house is also children, childlike energy. It's joy, it's play. Where do you want to go for fun dates with this person here? Do you want to commit to a lover, a partner here, right? This is for those of you that are in a relationship. Like, how can you recommit to love partner? Are you renewing your vows? Are you getting married? Are you doing something here, right? Are you walking down, like memory lane and doing some other old date nights or sex dates or whatever here, right? So very beautiful energy. You also have this Mars trine Venus over here and Mars trine Salacia over here. So are you like doing anything, reconnecting on group dates, friendship dates here overall, right? Are you connecting with people here? Are you hooking up? Group sex is like 11th house here, polyamory, communities, and you got Salacia right next to you. Is there some sort of sex scandal that's revealed in groups of friends or people here overall, and you just catch wind of it? Or is this not even like a sex scandal? Is this just like a sexual affair connection, maybe between three people here overall? Like some of you that are married here, are you looking at, maybe just playing around or doing something with like some threesome kind of energy? It's just giving me that vibe here specifically, because seventh house is like multiple partnerships or people overall. So just pay attention to that. I don't see anything bad with it, quite frankly. It's just up to you whether or not you want that. And now with Urania, trine Salacia over here as well. Like, are you connecting with a lover, like, or someone on a spiritual level here, right? Do they want to get married? Do they have the same values as you? Do they feel like a really good connection here overall on dates specifically? Are they also like very charming and seductive? Are they good looking, you know? Are they good at seducing you, right? There's some things to think about with that. And then we have Cupido squaring Salacia from the 7th to the 10th here. Careful of anybody, sex scandals or romances with business partnerships. This is also business partnerships, relationships. This is also your public reputation. If you work in the public eye, if you are well known in your own right, and this is like a square of attention here of maybe hooking up with somebody like a sex scandal at work or with a partnership, and maybe it just like is like, oh, we did that, and now things are awkward here, right? So just pay attention to that. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. Let me know what resonates in the comments below. Let's shuffle this out for you, yo. Oh my goodness, three of seductions in the reverse, like I said. So there could be a something here specifically about like maybe healing after infidelity. This could be, I didn't even say this. This is the house of hookups here. So you might find out about like maybe a partner going out, and this is like hooking up with a friend, someone in their community, someone in their social circle, and you're like, no. So you might be healing about this. You might be finding some receipts on their phone with Aquarius ruling technology here. Pay attention to that. Someone from work could just even telling you about this whole thing, or vice versa, if this is happening for you. For others of you, someone might share this message with you, kind of like I said here overall when it comes to this energy. So we'll see what happens for you, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Make sure to hit the like button, turn the notification bells on, and drop me a heart or something in the comments below. Please help the channel grow. It takes less than 30 seconds, boo, and it's completely free to you. Okay. Scorpios, what up? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising sign here. Let's talk about you, babes. Let me get a sip of coffee here, okay? Pluto retrograde. You are no what was I gonna say? I don't know. No, not a mystery. Yeah, you are not a mystery to Pluto. You know Pluto, you are ruled by Pluto, or if you're a rising sign, or if Pluto is just a dominant sign in your chart here, right, with Scorpio energy here. Let's talk about the themes when Pluto is in your fourth house, specifically Scorpio. This could be emotional manipulation here. This card says your early home environment may have shaped your views on intimacy and power here. When you have Pluto showing up in the fourth, this could lead to fears, emotional manipulation, craving emotional security, but resisting vulnerabilities. Sexuality for you might be emotional and death to rebirth, and you might need to have partners who offer deep trust and safety here. Power dynamics might play out in relationships, people whom you live with in the fourth house, and you might need to heal any past wounds. Through intimacy overall here, right? Like if sex was never taught to you, you know, growing up, you didn't have good sexual education, your mom didn't teach you that much, or your parents didn't teach you that much, right? Because this is also going through 10th house's dad, fourth house's mom, depending on what astrology you look at, it's flipped, but there could be some things you need to be working on here with your emotional healing, with any sexual intimacy, pleasure, romance here overall. Or if you saw maybe for some of you, this could be like a mother father story or a parental story that, you know, they were really fighty here and maybe didn't see healthy relationships, and now like you might be called to heal maybe any of those narratives or stories that were played out for you, Scorpio risings here, okay, with this opposition energy, to bring in more intimacy, emotional vulnerability, and zone in on that from the past. Let's talk about sextile to Venus here in your sixth house. From the fourth to the sixth here, you got Venus hanging out and Pluto making a flow energy here. For a lot of you, I see this if you are a parent here, like you may be talking to coworkers, colleagues, people that you just love or that you see day to day physical routines or routines or just tasks or whatever that you might be discussing with them, different things from your childhood upbringing in regards of family, generational curses. This could be like a coworker here or a colleague. That could just be telling you some different things about love and pleasure and intimacy and kind of giving you some sort of aha moment here, specifically with it being in the fourth house. And fourth house is typically difficult to kind of recognize overall. So there could be some good flowy energy. This could just be like really falling in love with your work here as well, and some sort of shock, awe, surprise here, where you might meet a lover or a partner, maybe through a coworker here too. And you're like, whoa, had no idea. Let's talk about the harsher aspects here with Pluto making an opposition to Mars. We discussed it a little bit. And then we have Urania also opposition to Mars here. Are you hooking up with a boss, an employer, someone in the workplace, someone level up, public eye, reputation here? And boom, you get fired, or boom, you fired them. Like, right? Like, it just doesn't work out with these squares here. Is this person, telling you everything you want to hear? Like, oh my gosh, like we'll get married. I promise I will cut off that relationship with that other person or my spouse or my wife or my partnership here. Is this some sort of like affair sexually in the workplace or public eye here? And then boom, they tell you everything you want to hear spiritually on like a soul level here, right? And then they actually cut you the fuck off and it's like you're out. That's what I got for you with that. I'm not gonna lie here. Scorpios for you. Um, and again, so that could be some pieces here specifically overall. For others of you, this could also be like maybe your work has just really taken off and it's really influencing your sex life or partnerships at home, and maybe sex isn't necessarily happening. You could have a partner that thought, oh my God, I thought we were on the same page spiritually, sexually to be together. And you might tell them what they want to hear, since this is your house of you with this specifically, with where Pluto is showing up. So you might be telling a partner, spouse, oh yeah, we'll have sex, after I get off of work this day. And then like you don't do it. And then maybe that partner here is upset. Maybe they're frustrated. Maybe they're whatever. And maybe you come home, you're just like chilling on the couch. There's no intimacy. It's like dull, dead, numbing, whatever, specifically here overall. So there's just some squares here, some tensions around work and home life balance and sex and intimacy and pleasure, overall is what I'm reading with that. Now, with Mars trining Venus and Salacia in your sixth house of, this is also coworkers, services given. This is day-to-day routines, pets. Are you trying out pet play sexually here? Is someone being in a position of power dominating you here overall? Do you have a daddy? Are you the daddy, right? Like, is there some sort of kink that you're kind of playing around with here specifically? Are you playing, with coworkers here specifically, when it comes to love or sex or whatever, right? This is something where this is a harmonious flow specifically. Maybe some of you should like people bossing you around in bed. I don't know. With this as well, with these trines, this is kind of like beautiful sexual energies here, specifically with Mars to Venus, like this nice balance. And sixth house is also like giving, and so you might be very sexually giving during this time. But I also see you receiving here too with Salacia here. Some of you might be kind of playing hard to get, maybe teasing a little bit, partners here. But there's a lot of sexual physicality here with all this fire sign energy, like attraction is what I will say here. Could a coworker turn into a lover or a long-term sexual connection? I don't know. Maybe that's a storyline for you, Scorpios. You'll have to let me know. Um, yeah. Are you just working out some sort of routine now here with work and working on your fitness, working on your sex goals, working on your wellness here? You could also maybe meet somebody, since Mars is like the planet of aggression, action, sexual libido, right? How we take action. Like, are you taking action on some sort of like physical, sexual wellness routine for sexual self-care where you feel like sexually confident, sexually like wealthy, healthy, just really, really good and looking good, feeling good here overall, specifically with whom you may be hooking up with. Okay. Let's talk about Urani is making a sextile to Salacia here from your sixth and your fourth, from your fourth to your sixth house specifically. So this is a nice flowy kind of vibe energy. Is for those of you single out there, is this you're hooking up with a coworker? Are you having conversations about spirituality? Is someone like seducing you? And you're just kind of exploring like your sexual values here overall. Like, is this talks of like, oh, marriage with someone who you just connect with, or maybe even from like a family member here, a motherly figure, more than likely. Does not have to be, but that could be playing out for you as well. And with Cupido making this square to Salacia, this is like someone like a coworker or colleague, maybe trying to like hook you up with someone that they think that they'll love from like a long distance place. And this is for some of you, like in long distance relationships, I don't see this working out. I don't see you liking it. This person could be out of country, out of state, out of whatever, just out of range. And I feel like your day-to-day routines get in the way of actually being able to travel to them, and it might be a conflict. And it's kind of like this really isn't worth it here, and it could be ending this. So you do have to make some sort of decision with that. Scorpios, let me know what resonates with you here overall. You might also be cutting off some sort of like love getaway or some sort of thing here in the ninth house of long distance travel here. This is also higher education, learning, guides, gurus, therapists, taking a course, learning, maybe cutting something off or just like letting it go or trying to work out some sort of tension with that in your six. This could have also been like, you may be traveling for work and you were excited to maybe meet this person, but it's like, it got canceled or something. That's what I got for you. Let's see what card is here. Ooh, four pleasures, pentacles here. Okay. So a lot of you are really needing, it makes sense with the fourth house, needing some relational and sexual stability foundations. You definitely need to, like I said, says maintaining the health and the wealth of the sexual and relational connection. Pay attention to any control issues during this time or holding on too tightly to something that's just not working out in these areas here, Scorpio. Okay. So let me know what resonates in the comments below. Scorpio, sun, moon, rising sign. Definitely drop me a comment, like this video, and hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on here. I know you will be back for more Scorpios because this is like a fun, different read, and I would not be surprised if you like this type. Okay, so let me know. Okay, Saggy-poo. Sun, moon, rising sign here. Let's talk about you, Sagittarius. Your theme, Pluto, over here in your third house. What does this mean for your sexual theme? Well, this is mind game energy, and you have like double air. So, this is the house that's typically ruled by Gemini, and you have Aquarius ruling it. So, it can feel like times two vibes. Okay. And this is your sibling sign. So, this could really feel like a lot going on here. So, mind games. Sexuality is a is mentally investigative for you. You crave deep conversations, intellectual stimulations, and you often feel turned on by this. Okay. You have an innate ability and sense hidden desires in others and may be drawn to taboo topics here when Pluto's in your third house. Power struggles in communication, secrets, mind games, particularly with lovers here, could come up for you. You might feel misunderstood here, and you might need to transform your sexual mindset at this time around sexuality from secrecy to shameless self expression will empower you. Okay, Sagittarius? So let's talk about the rougher energies with Pluto and Urania making oppositions to Mars here. Okay. This is like you and a sexual partner not being on the same page with what you like spiritually. It's like you try to make a pass towards them or they try to make a pass towards you sexually, and it's just like not working, or it might be too aggressive for their style, your style, whatever that could be coming up for you. Or this could just even feel like rejected. For some of you, you may be traveling long distance here or even short distance here in communities with dates, hookups, sex dates, whatever, or vice versa. You may need to cancel like some travel plans here. Sorry, I did the square when it's like opposition with these two energies that you might have to figure out later here overall. With this as well, the ninth house here is like long distance trips, it's sexual beliefs, it's philosophies. So you really have this heady game going on with your mindset here and your beliefs here. You might be learning something or feeling like you're struggling because maybe you didn't learn about certain things. Sexual libido matters here, and it might be influencing maybe how you talk to your partner about sex, secrets, mysteries, kinks, whatever it might be here overall, fantasies, intellectual intimacies, stimulation. This could be struggles with communication back and forth if you have partner, spouse here, or just even on dates here, out in the community. Are you freezing up here? Are you nervous? Are you anxious? Are you really stuck in your head overall, specifically here? Those are the oppositions, the harsher energies. Now, Pluto making a sextile to Venus here. We like that. If you are partnered here, overall, get out there more in the community, go on different local dates and stuff, do certain things that are fun, creative art, painting. If you have a sexual intimate connection, maybe even do this and, do the fun little paint like over body stuff and whatever. Put yourself out there, right? Like they do on all those dating shows nowadays. So with Pluto, and the fifth house making that beautiful sextile to Venus, this is also a lot about love. This is also maybe doing different types of things. Can you bring a partner, spouse here, like, flowers that you got at the local store here and bring them that cute little like love, pleasure, surprise here, right? Can you send them like a cute little note, a card or something, right? Can you ask them out in a cute way on a date night here specifically? So it's like, how do you want to use these energies here? Get creative. This is your communities. This is your mind. This is your thoughts that you can take action on and have it be very flowy for some romantic date nights, which I love for you. Um, let's discuss Mars. So Mars is trining Venus here in your fifth house here. So if you don't want to be getting pregnant or having no babies out there, if you can do that with the sexual connection or partnerships that you have, birth control. Okay. Like this is taking action. This is libido going. And then boom, this is the fifth house of romance, pregnancy, fertility. And there are a lot of romantic opportunities for you here, specifically with Venus and Salacia here, making this Mars trine specifically to Venus and then Mars trine Salacia here. For some of you, if this is like, oh my gosh, I lost virginity for the first time and we got pregnant, like surprise, or this is like, oh my gosh, we've been talking about having, kids here and we did it on the first time, surprise, right? Like, yay, us. So just be mindful of that here specifically. This is also for a lot of you, romance hookups. If you're traveling long distance here, I do see some really big creative opportunities with that, meeting people at university, school, community through maybe different guides, gurus, mentors here. For a lot of you, I could also see this for some of you with the third to the fifth to Venus here. This could also be a time where you meet somebody like online dating here overall. So just pay attention to that. And this could just be traveling to different countries, places, spaces, states here, maybe to just see how you like, culturally dating maybe other people elsewhere or whatever, if that is for you specifically. Urania and Salacia are also sextilings. This is all about talking about your spiritual beliefs. This is seduction. This is flirty conversations. This is intellectual stimulation here overall with Salacia here. Don't be surprised if someone tries to seduce you and drops your panties on like a date night or your first date, something like that. That can happen here maybe with this specifically overall flowy kind of vibe energy. Cupido squares Salacia here from the 8th to the 5th house overall. Now, what I feel like with this energy is maybe somebody says something maybe aggressive, and then you got some hurt feelings, and it happens during like a sexual hookup and intimate conversation. Someone that maybe you thought was more loving than they actually were, and it came off very, very rough and harsh here specifically. This could also be someone, maybe with the square telling you, like, yeah, I was gonna go on a date with you, but I wasn't gonna have sex with you and hook up with you specifically. Like, no, like, what do you think my intentions were here? And then you find out this secret, this mystery, this something hidden, really comes to light with this square here. So, Sagittarius, let me know. Um, it's given that kind of vibe. What resonates with you? Ah, so you got Virgo, Hermit card in the reverse. Someone's holding back a secret, like I just said. Some of you, there could be some sort of like hate sex, third party situation, affair, even STD, STI. Very interesting. And you have the sun in your sixth house, which would be physical health. This would be STD, STIs, shining a light on it. So maybe something you need to get tested here overall. That's not for everyone. Just take what resonates with you. Make sure you take care of your sexual self-care, Saggy Poos. Only take what resonates with you, and make sure to smash the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, hit the like button too. It helps the channel grow. Boo. Drop me a heart or something in the comments below. It takes less than 30 seconds, yo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising signs. Can we get some Capricorn emojis in the chat here? Let's talk about you. Pluto's hanging out in your second house. This is like money. This is material possessions. This is self-esteem. This is also sensuality, pleasure, love, a little bit with Venus ruling this house typically. So let's talk about this. The theme for you when Pluto is in your second house is material power here. So your sexuality is intertwined with self-worth, material security. You may be possessive in relationships here, seeing partners as extensions of your own value here, of what you have. Intense financial shifts may influence your intimate life through financial power struggles, obsession over possession here, or an urge to control like resources here specifically. So you need to learn to detach from material validation and embrace sexual pleasure. I definitely see that with the eighth house being, illuminated in this with these oppositions here and sex. Okay. I have so much fun writing on this, but this is something where with Pluto and Urania, making these oppositions to your eighth house here, this is kind of like maybe power struggles around money with finances and maybe going on dates here in your second and wanting to control that and maybe not moving forward like with a sexual connection here overall, or this is something with this opposition opposing energies here. You might want to like spiritually be on the same page with your values with the other person here. What do they think about sex, about material possessions, about pleasure, sensuality, intimacy, romance here? It's kind of like, what are their spiritual values here? And, is there like something that's going on where you're kind of fighting, a sexual connection? You're having trust issues, and opposition. Is this cutting off a sexual connection for some of you here overall? Or, this kind of being a challenge to be able to work out specifically, and or separating finances with these shifts here, overall? Is there the power struggle of sex here, like specifically too around, when you want it or when a partner wants it, like something about timing here with these energies, okay? With Pluto making a sextile to Venus in the fourth house here specifically, I see this a lot more as like some sort of hidden date nights that could be happening at home, a lot more intellectual intimacy, which then goes to physical or sexual intimacy, I should say, sexual more so through a loving connection, committed partnership, relationships, some date nights out of the home. Are you saving some money here to really enjoy your home, your house, your space a little bit more? Are you decorating, with a partner specifically around this kind of energy too, and doing something fun like with the date nights and really making a dollar stretch nowadays here in particular overall? Now, let's talk about Mars trine Venus and Mars trine Salacia of your fourth house here and your eighth house here. I feel like there is going to be, again, a lot of beautiful, like hidden sexuality, secret sexuality here that you may be doing or exploring out of your home specifically. Are you having talks about like when you lost your virginity here? Are you having talks about like, did your family of origin really discuss sex with you or trust or different types of things? This may also be like a sexually karmic healing connection. For those of you single that like maybe you had no idea that would be, this loving, caring, compassionate person asking you some very deep questions, maybe about marriage, about virginity, about your family of origin here overall. For some of you, you might be kind of dating somebody, saying love to somebody here that maybe it turned into a hookup, and maybe it's going to continue the relationship for something long lasting here. And you just might not be telling family members or friends specifically about this. Some of you might be deciding whether or not you actually do want to get married to this person here. Overall, it's kind of like you might be in your little love sex bubble here, okay? So I like that energy for you. I'm not gonna lie. Um, with Urania and Salacia here, again, just a lot of spiritual talks about sexuality here, values. You could be looking at your birth charts, your horoscopes, getting readings done for this, exploring sexual self-care through the birth chart, sex, intimacy, pleasure. If you ever want help with that in the future, stayshameless.com is my website here. I'm going to be having lots of offers on that. So stay tuned. But there's some things about that. Now, with Cupido in the seventh, squaring Salacia in the fourth here, and being known as maybe wanting to maintain virginity or maybe not having as much sex or marriage, whatever, right? Some of you are going to be figuring out whether or not you actually want to get married, having conversations with people, person, or talking to maybe a lover about this here. And with Cupido, it just seems like it's a question mark. You're kind of going to figure it out here too. I'll not be surprised if anybody like from family of origin or mother here would be kind of pressuring you and a long-term partnership to commit when you're just kind of like, and we don't really want that here. We don't really need that as a square. For some of you are like, should we even have a wedding? Should we even get married in this day and age and economy here? Especially if you don't have any family help here or money or resources from generational wealth, family members, or maybe that many close of friends. And it's also kind of like maybe you might cut the guest list here as well. I don't know why. I'm just really seeing some of that for you with partnerships. Some of you also, this could be a breakup here and just be like, you know, as love isn't long lasting and we're just kind of done here overall. So let me know what resonates with you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. That's what I've got for you. Let's shuffle out the sexual self-care deck for you specifically here. Or sexual self-care. Nice. Maybe you're in need of some sexual self-care here, but the sexy tarot. Ooh, the lover's card. Yeah, like I said, you're in your little love bubble. For those of you looking for love here, this is something where I feel like it could be coming soon. You might have multiple choices or partnerships here, and deciding who to have sex with, multiple choices, or you might be polyamorous. You might love multiple people here too, overall. And this is something that you're kind of maybe working out here. So, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising sign, let me know what resonates in the comments below. Help the channel grow, everything like that. I appreciate, love all of you, Cappy Boos. Make sure to turn the notification bell on too. It is all completely free to you. And please, please, please help support this video. I'm putting my all into it as well. Okay, let's talk about you, Aquarius boo. Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising sign here. So you got Pluto, of course, hanging out in your first house of you. It is going to be there for a really, really, really long time. I say be there, and there's this huge like bee slash wasp outside my window, like trying to get in. Maybe you're very sexually like fertile right now. Bees can represent that. So watch out for bees around your home, or maybe that's a spiritual sign for you here. Okay. Pluto in your first house. Let's talk about this theme with sexuality here. This could be sexually controlling. Sexuality is deeply tied to your personal identity here. First house, so self, ego, identity, who you are. Your sexual energy is transformative, leading to rebirth through relationships. Power struggles can emerge as you assert your dominance, but true empowerment comes from self-acceptance here. Be mindful of any controlling energies. Yeah, like controlling how you show up in relationships, controlling your sexuality, like in a way of like feeling like you might have to hide it with Pluto here, right? Like, oh, I'm gay, so like I don't want to tell people that I'm gonna hide it here, but it's out or something like that. Or like maybe you are gonna be coming out in the next 5 months, or thinking about like whom you come out to. There could be something around, like gender identity as well here at the first house, specifically overall in sexuality here. Okay. Let's talk about the rougher energy. So you have Pluto and Urania here in the first, making an opposition to Mars in the seventh here overall. Okay. With Urania, this is like, did you sexually or romantically seduce somebody and then it turned into a long-term commitment, relationship, partnership, marriage here overall? And now there's these oppositions and you might be like breaking this off, going through a divorce here, going through a breakup here, right? Maybe like you were very charming, or maybe this person was very charming for you, and then you just are not on the same page with your spiritual values here overall, or there could have been some sort of like secret that you found out about that spirit exposed within the first house here. Was this a divorce or breakup because a committed lover partnership had sex with somebody else, a business partnership, a married person, other people, right? I see this as like maybe some frustrations, with romantic partnerships, relationships overall. It doesn't have to lead to divorce here, but Mars could end it. So this could just be figuring out, different types of things, getting on the same page with sexual libido, with committed partnerships, relationships, and like what you want sexually too. Having these conversations here, like sharing your thoughts here, Aquarius. Let's talk about Pluto sextiling Venus over here in your third house. We really like this. So for my singles, with Venus in your third house, this is a great time. That's such a great way to circle it, Jackie. This is a great time for dating, putting yourself out there. This could also be online dating, and meeting people up in the local community. A lot of opportunity here, especially when Pluto's in the first house itself and people approaching you, you approaching people. Go for it, boo. This is nice flowy energy, kind of fun nights here as well. It could turn into a romantic connection here, overall, which I really love for you. Now let's talk about Mars trine Venus and Mars trine Salacia here. So with Mars trining Venus and Salacia from your third house to the seventh here, Mars and Salacia and Venus are like forming this fun, like flirty 30, what is it called? Flirty 30 and thriving. I don't know. Maybe you're 30. Maybe you're watching 13 going on 30, but this is like the house of like flirtiness, banter, fun, like loving sexual conversations here and having a really good spark physically with a connection that you might be sexually attracted to with all this fire sign energy and Mars energy, and really loving it. It's a hot, passionate connection here for you overall. This could be short-term dates turning into something long-term and taking action moving forward on it. So don't delay, act now is what I would say for you, Aquarius, is if you are single here specifically. Salacia, it's kind of like, ooh, scandalous, like something new, something fun. And like, wow, I thought I would maybe never date again or get married. And it's like, yay, wow, didn't know that was going to happen. Didn't know I would actually like meet the love of my life at my local gym, at my local community, at this local event, or even just online dating here. And boom, we get married in the future. Let me know if that's you, okay? With Urania over here in the first house, making a nice little sextile to Salacia, are you talking about certain things that kind of feels scandalous with sex, like things that you like or that you love? This is like flirty conversations. This is like getting hot over here. Your cheeks might be mushing here because you're having good witty banter with other people here, and I really like it. And this person could be very seductive, very much so, has a way with you, has a way with her words. This could also be you, Aquarius, vice versa. This is a really nice flowy energy, and it's just like, wow, turn me on. Okay. And it kind of surprises you here, especially if you've been celibate or if you haven't dated or you've been single for a while. There's something really fun going on here. This could also be an opportunity of people in the third house, so aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, really connecting you, Aquarius, to people in the local community. And boom, it just like works out really nice here with all of this specifically. Cupido and Salacia, I feel like you are going to have a coworker or colleague make a pass at you. This could also be like a client if you have your own business or a customer or something like that here overall with Cupido in the sixth house. And I feel like you are just like, no, you don't like it, or you have a conversation with them, and you're not looking for, love, where you make your money here too, specifically work or through a physical health routine. So just be careful of that. I feel like you may reject somebody. There's just like a warning for that for all of you here. Okay, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Let me know what resonates in the comments below. Let's get a card for you when it comes to the Shamelessly Sexy Tarot deck. Boo. Ooh, Nine of Pleasures in the reverse. Yeah, you might be giving like a coworker a chance on a date, and you're like, ugh, that gave me the ick. So it's like something's missing sexually. This could be like no spark. Here specifically for others of you, this could be with that like first to seventh house aspect here. This could also be almost having everything you want. You could be masking, how you feel in your sexuality, who you are in your sexuality, just a lot of things, maybe from partnerships or even people that you might start to date in the community overall here. So just pay attention to if you're hiding anything about your sexuality here, Aquarius. Okay. Let me know what resonates in the comments below. Drop me a comment. It's completely free to you. It takes less than 30 seconds, boo. And make sure to hit the like button, turn the notification bell on, and hit subscribe. I'd love for you to be a part of my Shameless squad. Pisces, last but not least, let me finish my coffee, loves. Pisces, you know this energy well. Pluto being in your 12th house, the house of you. Okay, this is your house, your storyline, you. So, Pisces, we got to watch out for some things here, okay? One of the biggest things when Pluto is in your 12th house here, what we're going to talk about is the theme sexually, romantically, relationally. This is fantasies. So, fantasy obsessions here. You may have secret fantasies, repressed desires, or past life connections in your intimate life here. Be careful not to project your fantasies onto partners if they don't want to engage in them. Be mindful of secrecy, escapism, um, oh goodness, or running away if this happens, or self-sacrificing tendencies in relationships, especially with death, rebirth, transformation. It would be so easy for you, Pisces, to like run away from like maybe a secret hidden affair or situation, maybe from work here with the 6th to the 12th house overall, with Urania and Pluto making an opposition to Mars in your 6th here, coworkers, colleagues, um, services given to other here. So it would be easy to be like, let me just escape with sex here and, let that be my coping mechanism for work overall, my day-to-day routine, my sexual routine here. It's what I want for my mental health. And then it's like my only coping skill and strategy. And then I actually ghost these people who I hook up with here specifically. So watch out for that. Pay attention to your mental health here, secrecy fantasy, escapism, avoidance, especially if there's any secret affairs, fantasies here, romance in particular, you seducing someone, someone seducing you, back and forth at the workplace specifically, or even from a long, far off distance shore land. I don't see that connection lasting because this is harsh energies here. Okay. Let's talk about flowy. Okay. The Pluto making a sextile to Venus from your 12th to the 2nd here. This is Venus, right? This is Pluto, sextile blue. Ah, fun. So, is this like, someone from a far off distant shore, land that you actually didn't know if you would like maybe give a chance or it could work out? Are you dating someone long distance from a whole nother place, space, whatever? It is kind of a question mark here. It's like you may not see it coming because Pluto is also secrecy. And so it's kind of like, I'm wondering, can this work out? It's a nice flowy energy. It definitely could. You just have to decide whether or not you use it or lose it right away, Bill. With Mars in your 6th house, making a trine to Venus and Salacia in your 2nd house specifically. This is like you taking care of your sexual self-care routines. Is this a physical health routine? Is this pumping up sexual libido holistically? Is this feeling good sexually and confident because of physical routines and taking action and moving forward towards maybe people whom you might love here? Okay. This is also the house of sexual self-esteem here. It's pleasure, it's sensuality overall. So are you exploring like some really slow sex with somebody? You're trying to slow down. For others, you could this also be like very quickie sex with all this fire energy that's coming in here. Some of you might also be slowing down because of Salacia here in particular. Maybe you haven't had like a lover or a romantic or even sexual partner with a long time. So you might want to like take things slow. You might also hook up with a coworker here in particular, or there's something about a storyline there for you that could show up for you, Pisces. With Urania and Salacia, you have like this energy of someone that you feel connected to, maybe from a past life even, who shares similar values to you, things that you want to possess materially, similar values around love and beauty and romance with this beautiful sextile here. You might just be like, wow, having a conversation with someone and you're like, I feel like I know you for my whole life here. Like it is that kind of beauty energy. And maybe it's someone that does turn into marriage that you didn't even think it could happen. You might also be charming them. They could be charming you, vice versa. It's a nice, flowy, flirty, fun energy. And you're kind of like, let's see where it goes. And it looks like it could turn out really well for you. Now, with Cupido squaring Salacia here in the 5th house of hookups, friends with benefits, F buddies, romance, dating here, and this is honestly Salacia, saying I wanted to stay a virgin, I don't want to get married, and Salacia basically does later, but you aren't going to get married to this person. This is kind of like a first date where you're like, yep, nope, like this is not it. And I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad I went out with them, but I'm going to hold out for something better here overall with these other aspects going on. This might also be like, yeah, I'm open to dating somebody with children here, 5th house of children. They could be a mom with this being in Cancer here, or a parent here overall. You're like, yeah, I'm open to dating someone with kids. And then you really think about it after the date, and you're just kind of like, oh, I don't want to be in that parental kind of role here, or take this on. Or this might also be like, maybe your values are just different. Maybe you date somebody and you maybe in the past thought, I really want kids. Yes, that's my value here. And then when you think about it and how much time and energy and effort it is, like, you might be like, Cupido, yeah, I still still like love kids, absolutely, but I don't want to have them like right now, or maybe at all in the future. Maybe you don't value that with this showing up in your second house here, Pisces. So that's what I got for you, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign here. Let's shuffle out the cards. Most important message for Pisces. Let me know what resonates in the comments below too. Ooh, Eight of Pleasures in the reverse here. This card says there's a sexual relationship that's impractical. There could be a person with all of you, you or them, Pisces, that has a habit of stepping out. That is your 12th house energy here. They could deal with abandonment issues and then they like run away from you with this Mars energy, like fleeing situation. It's not healthy. It needs to be worked on here. They might be seeking therapy. You might be seeking therapy for this too. So just pay attention to all of that, boo. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. So, Shameless Squad, let me know. Do we like this video? How are you feeling about these energies when it comes to Pluto and, these sexual asteroids, your sex life and romance in the future? What this looks like for the next 5 months? Like, was there any aha epiphany moments? Because Pluto retrograde does ask us to slow down. So, I hope that this video is helpful. These messages last for the next 5 months here energetically. So I really want you to take this in, come back and watch this read anytime that you need to, just for your spiritual and sexual self-care here specifically. Um, because this is like not a one and done type of energy, and there could be something that happens from these horoscopes that play out. So I'm very curious what plays out for you. Always come back and let me know too, okay? And if you're new, make sure to smash subscribe, turn the notification bell on, hit the like button, drop me a comment down below, please. It does help the channel grow. I put a lot of time, energy, and effort in this video for all of you, and I did a little bit of a bonus here with using multiple decks and the asteroids and the reading too. Let me know how you like this. And as always, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your likes, your subscribes, your donations, your comments, your shares, everything. I appreciate and I love you all so, so, so much. If you want to know more about sexual astrology, go to stayshameless.com and get on my newsletter. It's a pop-up, maybe 75% of the way down on my website screen there, because I'm going to have some offers that are coming up soon in the future too that I just cannot wait to share with you. And I think y'all are really going to love them too. So thank you, thank you, thank you all for being here. And as always, stay tuned for more and stay shameless.